So Mistral is now,
Nice.
while earlier, before this announcement, Mistral can still be consumed on AWS, right, as a SageMaker Jumpstart model. They were offering Mistral plus Mistral models, right, on Jumpstart. But now you can actually consume Mistral models on Bedrock as well, which is the managed service as we've highlighted in our previous podcast, which is a managed service for running your generative AI workloads and LLMs consumption on AWS, right? Very interesting update. This puts AWS in altogether different, competitive landscape. From
Yeah.
any of the major cloud providers, AWS is the only cloud provider that's providing a managed service, allowing you to consume models from 7 different platforms, including Meta, including Anthropic. They have their own Titan models they've actually developed, right? AI 24 Labs, which obviously is not that adaptive, but yes, they still provide good models on text summarization. And now Mixtel has joined that firm. So very happy about this announcement because of 2 reasons, Shiva. One obviously is because it puts Amazon on a different competitive landscape. Number two, a lot of use cases that we are implementing for our customers, we can now provide the managed service platform on Mixtel as well.
Exactly. I mean, see, sorry to say this, but Anthropic Claude sucks. I mean, big time. It is literally unusable. I mean, yesterday I was trying to access ChatGPT, Gemini, and Anthropic side by side, to rewrite kind of a phrase or a paragraph. You know what? Anthropic was not even trying. It wasn't even trying. It was like, you know what? Take this if you want to like it, move on. And I mean, there was another funny incident. I applied to Anthropic Cloud API Access almost a year back, and finally they shared the Cloud Access API. Like, who needs you guys? I mean, and this was really hurting AWS big time. I mean,
Yes.
I'm a big fan of AWS. You could see here, this was really hurting AWS very big, in a big manner. Customers were not happy with Claude. I mean, forget about doing computation and stuff. It wasn't even doing tech stuff really well, while it was really good, I mean, few months back. So Mistral, that to the Mixtral model, right? 8 into 7B version is available. So that model, which is the closest to GPT in performance, now being available on Amazon Bedrock is a fantastic thing. Great update. I
Again,
think
just
our AWS customers are going to be quite happy, to be honest.
absolutely, they already are. Although, this announcement is like very, very new. We haven't done any implementations on Bedrock or Mistral yet. But I think, again, your perception, right, builds a very good perception, right? But on that
Yeah.
point, right, you just highlighted, see, and this is something that we've debated on our podcast, right, previously as well. Is Claude or probably Anthropic focusing on wrong metrics, right? Like, I don't really care if the context window is 200K, right? While with Gemini, it's a different story altogether, right? But I don't care if you give me. I think Mistral Large, if I'm not wrong, is just for 32K context window model, right?
Yeah,
But
it is 32.
correct, right? I really don't care if you're giving me larger context windows because with Claude V 2.1, right, where they've increased that context window, what we've also seen in our use cases and the complaints that I get from my customers, the moment they actually need the 30% context window, the accuracy doesn't go down. The accuracy just like is it's like abysmal, right?
Yeah.
So so what are those metrics that they need to be focused? I think they really need to align their strategy. They again, they were early entrants, right? I totally agree, but they really need to cope up now. I'm
I mean,
with you
their
on that, Shiva.
internal metrics should really hurt the company. I mean, should be hurting actually because uh, I mean, we at least see that even within AWS ecosystem, customers aren't using Claude anyway. I mean, and I don't think their chat is also good. Like you mentioned, right? Claude was trying to take the position of safety, ethics, and all of
Yes.
that. They were already kind of moving towards the woke mindset to begin with from day one, which doesn't help, unfortunately, this whole thing. Anyway, I mean,
But that's not
fantastic
even,
update from Bedrock. Yeah.
but just one last point on that, on the safety note that Shiva you just mentioned, right? But that's what even Gemini or Google is trying to do. And what happened with Gemini last week, right? All of us know that. They've clearly highlighted,
Yeah.
because of their overcautious nature of the model, the way they had actually built
Yeah.
those meta prompts to control, to diversify. And so, in fact, one of these, meta prompts that got leaked have actually identified or mentioned over there generate results keeping diversity in mind. And one of the reasons why you were not able
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
quotation, I think Shiva, you mentioned, right? It's exactly the same thing, right? The reason why they did not want to be in the news is now the reason why they're actually in the news, right? So
yeah.
See, one thing that will have to be kept in mind is, and this is what I was highlighting in our previous podcast as well, that these platforms or these layers of LLMs that are being built independently will have to take a bit of bold approach. Now, building guardrails on top of it, right? How do you manage control over top of it? Should be a more use case based implementation, where very specialist GenAI services providers, like what GoML or probably Liza is actually doing at this stage, right, Shiva, would be the responsibility there, right? Because if these models become very overcautious, that's what happens with what happened with Gemini, right? So I just want to highlight that point quickly.
No, agreed. See, models, LLMs, if you guys are listening to us, please understand at Lizer, at GoML, we are working a lot closer to clients. We are actually deploying projects, right? We are deploying our SDKs to help our customers build agents, AI agents. And these are all production workloads. So please listen to us if you are really, concerned about the success when it comes to customer adoption. The reason why GPT-4 and Mixtral are good, when we say good, because they work as expected. We are able to go to production because the error rate is low. The consistency of meeting the expected outcome out of the prompt is actually very high. When we deploy RAG to it, they work really, really well. When it comes to Anthropic and other models, they just fall flat. So please, understand that focus on first production ready LLMs. All your 200K context, safety, all of that is great for PR, but when it comes to actual production stuff, it is not good enough actually. So yes, that goes the message. It's coming from people who are working on your tech almost every day, trying to make a difference for our customers.